kind of shy right now because the thing just started. But
Is this shit actually live?
yeah, it's live. Yeah, it's live. I can
Oh
see it on
shit.
both
Okay,
screens.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I see it. I see it. I don't
It's
fuck
got
with
like
it.
a little delay, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
Uh,
this week we're gonna talk about the chapter.
yeah.
Okay, what's up, guys? It's Zyl with Zyl Media here. Sorry that the stream got off to a little bit of a weird start. It's our first time actually doing the stream live. So give us a little bit of patience. Hopefully, we'll get better at it.
Well,
Um,
we're doing it a day early, so I mean, like,
yeah,
that's not that bad, you know.
and even yeah, we're kind of dropping a day early just because there's some stuff that I gotta get to tomorrow that I can't get the stream done on Sunday. So we won't have the viz to go off of. So sorry about that for this week. But you know, well, we wanted to get into the chapter. We wanted to dive right in. Chris has got a lot of disdain for the chapter. I think it's a pretty solid chapter. I'm happy with how it went. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and get a little bit of the review in, and then we wanted to talk also about some differences between the anime and the manga. Chris is a predominantly anime viewer, and then kind of came into the weekly reading, and then I'm a long time manga reader, so we'll talk a little bit about that and the differences that we've noticed in the experience. But yeah, Chris, let's get started. First of all, cover
Okay.
story, cover story. The cover
Lit.
request was fucking awesome. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Any moment with the crew that we get is always fun. So like seeing Robin, seeing Zolo, and the rest of them over the past couple of weeks has been enjoyable.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. That's the one thing, like, I feel like we got the Germa cover story at the start of this arc, right? Or in between like this arc and post Wano.
Yeah, yeah, we
Yeah.
did. I think we
So
did.
I feel like soon we'll be getting more of that cover story stuff soon. So like I'm just here for the ride. I'm here to enjoy these
Yeah,
these
Germa
different.
66
Yeah.
is an emotional excursion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was like
Yeah.
right before that. And then that's where we get Pudding being captured.
Yeah. 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 I remember back when I was a kid, I used to never take that shit seriously. Like I never used to take the cover panel seriously, and then I realized through reading weekly that I'm like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
this
these are
story,
huge.
yeah,
There's a whole story here.
yeah, yeah. Like it didn't click until like I reread One Piece for the first time and realized that like all the Logtown reunion is teased through the cover story. In terms of like
Yeah.
Buggy getting around and getting to Logtown. Um, and so yeah. Anyway,
And then
let's get
even
into
like
the
the coolest thing for me is everybody, one of my favorite characters. uh, Eh, I like the character, but the more important thing is this fruit. I love Adele's lightning fruit.
oh
Excuse me.
yeah.
I'm a but yeah, I love Adele's lightning fruit, and the cover story was the Adele cover story was the first thing that really captured me about the SBSs. I was like, everything was cool. Don't get me wrong, but then we get to like the Enel stuff, and I'm like, what's this? Right? Like I was just kind of viewing it casually when I was first reading
Hmm.
it, but then once we got that, um, like what was happening with Enel after the battle, I was when I was like locked in for cover stories, or at least started paying more attention.
Yeah. Um, yes. Okay. How do you want to go about this? Because this
Oh,
week,
sorry, yeah, we were just talking
yeah.
about cover stories. So let's see, what's the major stuff? Obviously, Luffy's back in action.
Hmm.
Um, 'Cause actually, like let's let you lead because you have some gripes with the chapter. So
My
um,
main gripe with the chapter is at the end, bruh.
okay, okay. Well,
That's
that's fair.
I
Yeah,
have
we
no
get
problem with
like
anything else.
that's
Like,
fine. Okay, so everything else, like guys, Luffy's back in the game. I love that we still get to see a lot of Luffy using the techniques, like the what are they called? The CP9 techniques. Um, can't remember what they're called at the moment, but
Rokushiki?
yeah, the Rokushiki.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait, but how is he using the Rokushiki?
no, it's life return, right? It's like the body release thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
That's why
yeah,
it's why he can like eat so much and then in a second it's gone, right?
yeah.
Um, so like it shows that there is like a way to just do it kind of naturally. Obviously, Luffy's not natural, but like Kid's been shown to do this too, and he doesn't have a devil fruit that allows him to expand and contract at will, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think it's just cool that they're also like just a part of scaling up as an individual.
I find it
Um,
crazy that like we never seen them take shits. So like I could imagine that they just got fucking massive ass dookies like all up in them until the fight's over.
I
Cause
think
like I,
actually,
I know if I go
so,
to the gym, I gotta take a pre-gym shit. So like are they shitting before the fights or after the fights? Like
I don't know. I actually find it funny because it doesn't seem to be Oda's humor, which is pretty funny because Oda seems to find a lot of things humorous, and I bet he would laugh at it, but he doesn't utilize it a lot. But someone who does is Yuki Tabata with Black Clover and like Yami.
oh
Yami's
yeah,
always
yeah,
taking
yeah.
the shit. But
Yeah.
it's like also a bit more vulgar of an anime, so
Also
a
like
manga.
Magellan's always taking the
Magellan,
shit.
yeah, he was in the
Yeah.
toilet all the time.
Yeah. But nah, like you'd assume like you'd be eating all that food. How does it go? Where does it really go? Like it's
I
not
mean, it's
like
going
for
into the
their
sea.
stomach. It's not like these niggas' stomachs are like combustion engines and they're just like fucking tearing
I
up
think
the
I think it's just because of like the majesty of it, right? Like the sea is supposed to be such a like majestic thing in the storytelling that like having somebody like constantly befouling the sea would be kind of weird.
Well, and you know, it's funny because that's the part that we don't talk about when it comes to being a pirate. How
Yeah.
disgusting it is, how fucking shitty it is to be at sea for so long. You can't fucking shower. Like these niggas got showers in their ship. They got toilets in their ship. Like that's not like that's like some modern day cruise type stuff.
Yeah. Well,
That's
I mean,
not what they're dealing
it's
with.
supposed to be like a luxury cruise, right? Like it's supposed to be a grand adventure. So it's done in a way to show us experiencing the grandness, like the grandiose part of the story. We don't
Oh man,
experience
I feel
the
like the
like
only I feel like Jay Garcia got like a nice ship, and every other Marine is just shitting in buckets and throwing it off
oh,
board.
100%. But that's why we're following pirates, right? We get to see the luxury that Frankie built them, right? Like
Yeah,
and that's probably not what the kid pirates are dealing with, right? It's
yeah.
probably not what the like Law's pirate crew is dealing with like a
Mm.
stainless steel, poop machine. Like that's it. Like that's all they got. Um, but that's why like Frankie's boat so
Where did he
luxurious.
get this submarine from? Like, that's a dead ass question. Like, there aren't that many submarines. Submarines would work in the calm belt. Like, why
They
are
do
there
work in
not
the Calm Belt.
that many submarines in the story? Where did he get this ship
Probably
from?
because it's a like a higher technology type of thing.
Yeah, but like, how did he get this? Like, and why doesn't the Navy have like a shit ton of them?
Um, the Navy definitely has submersible things.
Yeah, but they don't got like a polar tank. Like, they need like I don't know. Like,
They
these are just
probably
questions.
listen, they probably do have that. They just didn't have one at Marineford,
That's
right?
wild.
Because like,
I
what
I
purpose
just
would it
find
be?
that crazy. Like,
What
we
purpose
never
would
saw
it use?
a sub at Impel Down at all in
Yeah,
like
but
the
why would
fucking
you
like
need it?
wide shot. I don't know.
The
You could
the
make
bull
it. Like you could
the
make it though. Like that's the thing.
the Burgogi, the main creature there, the blue gorilla or whatever, it it was going out and doing all the chores like slaves.
No, no, no. I know, but like I'm saying, like
And it
if
could
you
breathe
gotta
in both water and air.
if they needed to, right? Like they could make like underwater docks at each level impel down, like utilizing like like when you have like a cup like that, like you have like a canoe at the top of the water and you can bring it underwater and it still's got air and shit like that. So
Mhm.
like they could do that with like the different levels having subs. That way, like honestly, it
But
would have been
they
sick
just
because then
use
maybe the
bubble.
Straw Hat crew could have just left with a submarine instead. You never know. It's just
Um,
shit that I think. It's this is just shit that I think about
but
sometimes.
they do have a submarine.
Oh yeah, they do. Shit.
Yeah.
But it's not
Like,
like a fucking. It's like a mini sub. No, but okay,
yeah.
okay,
But
but
that's
then
what I'm
here's my
saying.
thing.
It's like
Like,
the technology's available,
who the
clearly.
fuck made the polar tang?
It's probably someone in the West Blue.
Jeez, I don't know. It's just shit that keeps me up at night.
Or, I mean, the kid was in the Grand Line when he started his adventure.
That is
So
true. That is
it's
true.
likely
He
just
started
relevant
in the new
technology
world,
as a
right?
pirate,
Like,
as a
yeah.
pirate, not from where he was born.
Okay.
But because of the Flevens incident, he got taken to Dressrosa, which is the new world.
Yeah.
And then and then he was in whatchamacallit when he started. Um, where's that town? That island? Was it like Group Island or so? It was some bird name.
I forget.
Anyways, I'm bad with birds. My foster
I'm
mom
ba-
would be upset with me.
I'm bad. I'm bad with remembering a lot of these like island places
um,
sometimes. But
but
yeah,
okay.
no. I think what I really want to talk about is I think that this is a good way for us to be able to well, first of all, yeah, no, no, no. You know what? Like, well, the shot, the big shot, the continuation of the big shot. Sanji is running.
Yeah, Sanji is dipping
He was gunning,
to
and
save Bonnie.
I I I didn't realize in that shot how quickly the Stella can communicate with the satellites.
Yeah,
He pretty much, and then I
instant.
didn't realize that Atlas told Bonnie. In my first reading, I didn't realize that Atlas told Bonnie that like what to do. But she looks shocked when she realizes it. And I think that it's just really good to know. And I feel like it's consistent in the fact that like we've never really seen Bonnie interact with a paramecia or sorry, pacifista
Mhm.
that closely before. Like she's seen them in passing, but she's never like told one something to do. And so I feel like if that had ever come out to begin with, that would have already started like Vegapunk these Vegapunk events would have happened 2 years ago, you
Yeah,
know? um
right. And then just her being kept apart from that is what saves her from all of that,
yeah.
right? Like
Hmm.
she's just been, but she's been ignorant of it too. It's not only now that she'd understand even what's going on, like they just look like her father in her mind. So
Yeah.
she's super confused about it. But anyway, Sanji is dashing away to save Bonnie.
Nice.
We get the instant transmission of Vegapunk. What an ingenious idea as well. Like, I don't know, just reading last week's chapter and thinking about it while reading this week's chapter, like it's as a reader, you have like this heightened sense of danger and then there's just like the dissolution of it, but it's both coming from the correct sources. Like Saturn last week had us like in his freaking grip, right? Like we're sitting there like, well, we're just put in this super shitty situation. But then we get this week Vegapunk being like, this is the least I could do as a human, right? Which is something that we kind of didn't expect from Vegapunk, I think.
Mhm.
Um, like this is kind of where his line is for humanity. He made a secret way that there was always going to be someone who could save Bonnie when it comes to pacifistas. I don't know. I just think it's awesome because he crossed so many lines. So as like a thing to ensure his humanity, I think that this was like a beautiful way to do it. Um, you know,
No,
like
yeah.
he killed somebody in like the worst way possible. But like
For
at
real,
least he
for
was able
real.
to take something positive
Yeah.
out of it in the long run. I think that that's like really pretty
Mhm.
cool.
And this just
Um,
gives stocks to S Bear,
let's go, let's
knowing
go.
that like S Bear is going to be like
Insane.
awesome. Well, and also just like similar, like it's gonna be like more than likely Kuma isn't gonna make it. Like, but S Bear
But
will
yeah,
be
then
able to
Esper
live
gets
the
to
life
grow up
that,
with Bonnie.
yeah, living the
Yeah,
life that Kuma never got to live. And so I think
and
that that will
maybe
be
that what I think we're seeing is that we might be able to give S Bear Kuma's memories through Bonnie because S Bear can do what Kuma could do.
as a, oh yeah, he has a pawpaw.
I think he does. It'd
Okay.
be cool if he does.
Yeah,
It's not like he wouldn't be able to because you have the pawpaw fruit still here.
yeah, yeah.
So it might be that they can revive um or like sew it in so that they have the pawpaw fruit. I wonder.
Yeah, no, I
I
think
don't
that'd
I
be
wonder
cool. Yeah.
more and more about like what
I'm not
the
sure.
how
Yeah,
the lineage stuff works. It's
mm,
so I don't know. There's so many mysteries in One Piece, but I just
yeah.
have so many questions for Oda.
It's interesting to think because like with the whole Stussy stuff, like I feel like the main point about Stussy is that these these clones, these like cyborgs are like their own people. And they have like their own lives and their own memories and like some like even like the Stellas and the satellites are all connected, like they're still their own individuals. And so um understanding like Esper joining like joining up with Bonnie at the probably at the end of the story because I believe Esper was brought to this island, correct?
I think. I'm not absolutely certain. It's really hard. I haven't done my reread yet. Um, so like keeping
I
recent
think
chapters in my head, they kind of just peel out.
um what are they called again? Seraphim.
Yeah,
uh yeah. Yeah, it's
yeah,
Jinbei, Mihawk, um Hancock and Esper. So Esper is going to at least leave the story with Bonnie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if Esper could have the.
1087. Oh no, is the episode 1059 is the chapter. Yeah. And
Um,
then there are a handful other seraphim and other places.
he does have the Nikyu Nikyu no Mi.
Okay.
Yeah. So he does have the pawpaw fruit.
Okay. So it's possible. It's possible.
Yep.
That'd be cool. That'd be
So
really
yeah, he
cool.
could we could like revive a young version of Kuma
Yeah.
by giving him his memories back and letting him grow up with Bonnie
hmm
instead of
hmm
having never been able to be the father that he wanted to be for her. But then
Yeah.
his increased ability with that knowledge, he'd be able to kind of do both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it would
Or
be.
or it would be
I mean,
like
listen,
or
Oda, if you don't end
I
it that
wouldn't be
way,
surprised like if he
if you
does
don't
something.
end it that way, that's fine. I totally understand. But wow, that would be beautiful. Um, I don't know, that'd be such a nice scenario for Bonnie.
hmm
Um, but yeah, so what
Yeah,
was
like
your
it distinctly
problem
says. Oh, so
with the
my problems
final
with this chat.
panel?
Okay, so like it starts with the fact that it starts with the page before.
The page
I'm tired of the
before.
sun god shit.
You
I'm
don't
tired
like
of
the
this
sun
sun god
god stuff?
shit. I'm getting fucking tired of this sun god shit. And it's not the fact that I don't like I'm not upset about his like gear fifth, like his just new form that's like free and whatnot. Like I have no problem with that. I genuinely have a problem with the fact that like that's just who he is now. He's not Luffy.
He is Luffy. It's the same person.
It's just like I don't know. Like I feel like it's like everyone is saying like Straw Hat Luffy, the young boy who caught Kuma's eyes, is Sun God Nika. And
Yeah.
then like and then it's like, oh, we've come to pick up Straw Hat. Or should we call him the Sun God? Like, I'm just getting tired of this shit. I'm just getting
Okay.
tired of it.
So I mean, one, he's hey, it's okay. It's okay. I know. I know. Go lay down.
It just doesn't sit well with me. How
Well,
his
it's
identity's
it's
changing.
showing well because everybody here has a perspective, right? These are we're only hearing it from the people who have this perspective. The giants have always praised the sun god. When they last met Luffy, he was someone that they praised because they enjoyed because he was that same person. He was the reincarnation of Joy Boy, right? But it's because he aligned with the same values that he was able to get here.
hmm
Like the to I think to awaken your fruit, you have to do that. You have to be perfectly in line with your fruit. And the everything Luffy went through, he was already a pretty similar person. Now he like has become the thing that he needs to be. He's gone through the final trial to get there, and everybody recognizes that.
mm
I don't think that there's like, and I think that like the perspectives we're seeing it from, Vegapunk, who's been curious about the myths of the old centuries, um, Bonnie, who's the daughter of the last Buccaneer, and well, potentially the last Buccaneer, um, and the Giants, who are people who have held the esteem for the sun god for ages. They know what that person's. They're the people who can identify it. They're the only
mm
people who might be able to identify it in the story, right? Other than the celestial dragons, but not everybody. We're only seeing it from like two sides, right? Remember, we have access to knowledge that nobody else has.
Like my thing is this, right? Like I understand that there are different cultures that like are tied and like will call him like Joy Boy, like the Minx and like the people of Wano. And there are different people, like in the people of Fishman, and there are different
Mhm.
people who are more tied to like the mythos of like Sun God, and
Okay,
then
hold
like the
on. Let me
Buccaneers and
try.
like,
Let me try one more time, okay? What if I told you that Luffy will always exist?
dude, I don't have a problem with Luffy like Luffy having this power. I I'm confused as to like what is Oda trying to say with um with calling Luffy the Sun God, other than like referencing him. Like, because like my thing is like I understand like referencing him to like to the hero and the myth of the past, to like be able to like to understand that like, oh, like he shares these qualities. Like I think that that's fine, but I think people just going out of the way and being like he is Sun God Nika. It's like, what the hell?
Because he
Like,
is.
I don't know, man. It just
What
makes me
if I told you
uncomfortable.
that every time Sun God Nika existed, it was the same person that Luffy is? Right? Someone who's trying to
Dude,
accomplish
that
an
just doesn't make
unbelievable
me
goal.
comfortable.
Someone who's trying to accomplish an unbelievable goal and is going about doing it in the most peaceful and jovial of ways, right? They might have different ambitions, but their like
Cameron needs to
core
stop moving.
function, who they are as a person, is the same, right?
Yeah.
So Luffy doesn't care about being the sun god, but part of being the sun god is that you have your own motivation and ambition. It's
Yeah.
Luffy is going to be the strongest being there is, right? He's the most free. That's his goal. Like he could do anything,
Like,
literally.
I don't think like that's a
But
problem.
he's going to
My
do it
problem
his
is
way
that
because
he's
he's
being
Luffy.
called. My problem is that like this Sun God shit, this Joy Boy shit, like I understand like being the person that was promised. I don't like the idea that like he is becoming a deity.
He is a deity.
It just makes me uncomfortable, man. It just makes me uncomfortable.
This is how the deity is fulfilled.
Like it's not like it's fucking Super Saiyan God, and it's like these guys are just using like God chi. Like,
No, what I'm
sorry.
trying to tell you is that this is what the people in the world of One Piece revere as a deity. Someone who is capable of bending reality to their will. That's it. That's all there is to it. The they revere the celestial dragons the exact same way.
They don't revere the celestial dragons, they
The
loathe them
people
and they're
hate.
scared of
Nope,
them.
sorry. Listen, that is not true. The people who believe in the celestials, like the world government, believe in the celestial dragons.
Hmm.
We're always surrounded by people who are usually poor or affronted by the actions, right? We're
Yeah.
constantly put in the opposing party's view, but they are the majority.
Yeah, but I think
Most
that
people
most people
are
are being subjugated by the world government in the story. Like,
absolutely,
yeah,
most
so
people
like,
are like enslaved, but the people who are in who are in, and even those who support, they do it like the same way that we look at. We kind of like hand wave, excuse
mhm,
me, like our computers are made by children in factories in Africa and China and India, right? Like
yeah,
these aren't all these like we're having children mine all of the software for or all of the stuff that we need for our software. And we
mhm,
kind of like excuse that type of stuff. the same way, right? The core of society excuses all this, like the slavery,
Mm-hmm.
the treatment like of the lowborn,
For
so
the
on and
sake
so
of
forth.
convenience, yeah.
Yeah, because it's an inconvenient thought, right? So like Luffy's always on that side because he's a pirate. He's only ever going to see that side. But the people who support the world government don't look at the world, would revere the celestial dragons as gods.
I don't think that a person who works with or reveres the world government similar to like Garp care like reveres the celestial
Yes, but that's
dragons as
because
God.
Garp lives in the other side. That's what makes Garp such a conflicted character. Garp is of the poor and is working for the rich,
Hmm.
right? All of the rich believe in the celestial dragons. They have to. It's part of what it means to be rich,
Yeah.
right? But the reason that we love Garp is because even though he's in that place and he's enriched himself because of it, um, he still views things from this perspective. And then the conflict comes when he has to choose between the two,
Yeah.
right? But that's why we love Garp. The general people, the general populace, uh, look at how the people in Dressrosa felt about everything that was going on.
Well, they didn't know.
They excuse the fact that there's just these living toys. They just
They didn't
accept it that that's how
know.
things work.
That's not how they, it's because they didn't even know that these people were people.
I understand, but like, look at how easy it is to forget what's good, right? King Riku was kept alive and he
Yeah.
was never turned into a toy. They didn't forget King Riku's existence, right? But
Yeah.
only a handful of the people who still believed in King Riku, felt the remembered the good things about him. There were only a handful of loyal people there.
Mm.
Everybody else hated King Riku. They only saw what happened that night, right? Where he was
Hmm.
being controlled and everybody's upset about it. But like but everybody else hated because that one night was startling enough for them to be like, "Oh, he's a terrible character." Um
Yeah.
but then like the truth is with Luffy's side, which is with King Riku's side, not with Doflamingo's side, right? Like there's a narrative being pulled over their eyes, and they're just willing to accept it,
But
right?
my thing is like with this whole like going back to like the crux, like the sun god Nika stuff, like with me in particular, like I like even if like the people of Elbath have like a myth and like a story that connects to sun god Nika,
Which they
I
probably do,
I feel
because
uncomfortable
they've
that
shown that they know the other gods too,
I feel uncomfortable that like what other gods?
like Mother Sea,
The fuck is Mother Sea?
right? Like they make reference to like gods of water in all of these ancient religions, right? We get that same kind of stuff in the flashback in Skypiea because they're a part of the ancient cultures.
You mean Umi?
Um,
There's nothing about the mother. There's a song called Mother Sea. What are you talking about?
oh, maybe I'm just high and rambling. Who knows?
There's a theory about Mother Sea, like calling it Emu,
Potentially, yeah.
but how is Emu the god of the sea? Ugh,
Like it
Here,
makes
sorry.
sense. Like he was the god of
When we're
the.
looking, hold on, when we're looking at like the stuff that we're talking about with like Impel or not Impel Down with Skypiea, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's like general gods held in a lot of the old cultures, right? So we have Shandora, we have the gods of land, sun, forest, and rain, right? So we know that there's a sun god, we know that there's a god of land, we know that there's gods of forest, and we know that there's a god of rain. That's part of their culture that's introduced to us. Um, we know that there's like ideas of gods as members of the religions of Arabasta, um, because that's kind of like they deify these things. So this is like a common thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be gods in the same traditional way we see it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think at the end of the day, like this is still them, like this is still a part of their religion, and that's what they're showing us, right? Like the the giants do see Luffy as Nika. Um, to them, there is no difference, and he's proven it because this is exactly what Nika's always looked like. He's had a different face every time he's come back to exist, but he's always looked like this. A person who liberates freely, has white hair, um, or yeah, in like all white or whatever, capable of moving the world.
So is Joy Boy Nika?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I don't know, man.
It's like it's like okay,
It just makes me uncomfortable.
the god of lightning,
Yeah.
Zeus, and then like Zeus has 1,000 names. Poseidon is the earth shaker. I don't know Zeus as well because I like the sea more than the sky, which is funny because I have the
Yeah.
electricity power, but is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
No, I feel you. I think I understand like with the four gods that were talked about. Like land, earth, forest, sea, land, earth, forest, sun, and rain.
yeah,
Um,
and remember that some of those gods were snakes, right? Like
so then
they
do you think that like that Blackbeard is like has like the god of earth?
dude, I can't hear you at all.
Oh, one sec, one sec.
I can hear you now. No, I can't hear you now.
Oh wait, I can.
I can hear you.
Okay, now
Okay.
I can. Cool.
Okay.
I
What
didn't.
were you
My
trying?
headphones disconnected. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Um, Yeah, no, no, no. Like, do you think that like Blackbeard and Whitebeard both would had like the god of like earth fruit? And then then do you think that like the forest one is like Rio Kyugu's? And then do you think that who's the I don't know who's the rain? Maybe it's Dragon.
Um, I could be convinced that actually Blackbeard's fruit is a mythical zone and not a Logia.
Mm,
I could be convinced. Um,
that'd be fucking ridiculous. I genuinely just think that it's the same thing as Green Bulls.
I don't disagree, but I
We're
think
just
that it
talking about
could.
essences of things, right? Like Sun God Nika, like if we're under the assumption, this camera is pissing me off. If
Well,
we're under the assumption, um, that that Sun God Nika is Sun God Nika because Sun God Nika was an individual, right? Then that makes sense for there to be a Hito Hito no Mi for that. But like everything else, right? Like could just be the spirit or the essence of which a thing is.
so remember that also we're learning about devil fruits and that they
Yeah.
can be dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what it really was at one point in time, this
Is it
somebody
people?
who
Yeah.
had this fruit achieved this state, the awakened version of this fruit,
Mm-hmm.
liberated the world, and then died. That's it. And then that became sun god Nika. That's how that person existed. And whoever takes this fruit revives that person. But it takes but to be that person, you have to align yourself with the fruit. You have to have the exact same view
Yeah.
or will. You have to become that which you like to awaken a fruit. You have to become the same thing that that fruit was desired for. Because we know that they'll look
Yeah.
different. We know that Joy Boy, the person who did it last time, was a giant because we have the
That might
giant
not
straw
be the
hat.
same person.
No, we have the giant straw hat. I'm pretty sure that it was Joy Boy. Anytime we've ever seen Joy Boy, he's also seemed to be
Also,
a
what
giant.
is that, a giant hat or is that a Buccaneer hat?
No, it's a giant hat. That
Mm.
thing was ginormous. Buccaneers have been shown to be relative in size to people. They're larger, but not ginormous. That hat was as big as Kuma's body. So I don't know how he'd wear it.
Mm.
We can still make clothes that fit Kuma. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I'm just
Obviously, we can
thinking
make clothes
like
for giants as well, but that's way larger.
I just don't know how big that hat is. The hat under Marijois. Marijois. Anyway, I don't know.
Here, one
Like
second. Let me
that's
get
my
it for
that's my
scale.
gripe. I'm not upset that I'm wrong about the Blackbeard Pirates not showing up. I'm genuinely upset about that. We did the
Well, hold
math
on.
last
This is the
chapter.
scale. Did we not? Hold on. Oh, this is the scale.
What's the scale? I can type in the chat from here.
Yeah. It could be a Buccaneer hat. But the point still stands. Maybe he was a Buccaneer, and part of the group that he saved was the Giants,
Mm-hmm.
right? They were all of the ancient religions were a part of the ancient kingdom. Like all the people who protect this knowledge are formerly a part of the ancient kingdom.
Yeah.
The giants, the minks, the fishmen, they it seems like those are all people who were very closely tied to that place, right? And then we know that Zunisha got banned or got her banishment at the same time, so she would have known who Joy Boy was, right? So maybe the last Nika was Joy Boy,
Yeah.
but there's
No,
been a
that would
Nika
make sense.
beforehand,
Yeah.
and there's a Nika again, and they all know him from different angles. Um, but now they all know him as Luffy, but
Mm-hmm.
before his name was Joy Boy, and before his name was Nika, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there was probably another person before Joy Boy that was Nika before Nika or after Nika was made, right? But like
Mm-hmm.
it's probably been that there's always been someone who becomes Nika, um, and then but like that person had a name too, and we're
Yeah.
probably just the last person to have the name Nika was Joy Boy.
Here's a question for you. Do you think that the Gorosei actually have devil fruits, or do you think that these powers come from something else?
We've been told that they have devil fruits.
Have we?
Yeah, they got a title bar.
They got an Oda box
Yep.
for Jay Garcia? I don't think so.
Yes, you did. Images. Where is Saturn's Oda box?
He didn't get a devil fruit, man.
I don't have the most recent chapters in the volume yet. Um, okay, Saint J. Garcia. He has the Did he not have it yet?
Nothing has indicated that he has a devil fruit yet.
He has a zone devil fruit. We've seen it the other week, no?
Dude, nothing has talked about his devil fruit yet.
I thought at the end of the flashback we got it. Because it didn't
No,
reintroduce him?
we didn't get anything. We don't know if it's a devil fruit or not.
Yeah, okay. I don't know.
It's not
Maybe.
definitive yet.
They could have God
It
fruits.
looks like a zone. Like it does. It has the properties of a zone.
Acts
It
like
has the
a zone.
black sash. Like it has like the awakened like aesthetic. So obviously it could be. It's just there hasn't been anything definitive.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But remember, the other thing that we're learning from Vegapunk is that like
Mm.
it's supposed to be that this is a reality that is available to humanity, if that makes any sense. Because devil fruits are supposed to be the peak of humanity, according to Vegapunk.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's. I think that it's more understandable for him to just be an awakened, like whatever. I don't know. Like it could very well possibly be that like these guys like through the experimentation of other people, just like manage to not even really have devil fruit powers, but to have like an amalgamation.
Potentially, but remember that there was like super advanced people in the ancient times, and these people are as old as
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I don't
We
know.
have people who are coming from the freaking moon, dude, with technology that's more advanced than the common technology in the One Piece world.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you know if when Luffy was fighting before, like against Kizaru and against Lucci, was his heart making the same noise? Because why is that robot only activating now?
Um,
That's something I find
Actually, I
interesting.
think his heart only makes the noise at the. Does it only make the noise at the start? But every time it's made the noise, we've seen the robot as well, I think. We've been like panned to the robot. But I mean, it's showing the same eyes as like Zunisha did. So I imagine it's because of the sun god.
Mm.
right? It's technology that has been around since ancient times. Excuse my yawn.
Trying to see this robot. Where's the robot? Anyway, I don't know. But I don't know, it's just something to think about. It's food for thought.
Fair, fair. All right, so let's
'Cause
get back into it. Where were your displeasures with the chapter?
I just like so yeah, as I was saying before, like we did the math last week. We figured out that like Egghead Island and Albath are technically not too far apart from one another. For something like this to happen, especially with the first panel, like revealing that they had seen the papers from the day before. Um, so it's very possible that they decided to leave Albath upon receiving the newspapers and made it there within a day.
It's possible, but I don't think they're getting anywhere with the Giants there, bro. I'll be honest with you. These
You don't think?
Giants are ridiculously strong.
No. I think that's yeah. Um, and so with the Giants there, and with the pacifistas like attacking and everything, Luffy, I think it's really just gonna be a Luffy.
Luffy dub, Yonko
Yeah,
win.
just like a. I don't
We've
know who's.
shown that
It's
the
gonna be a
Yonkos
Luffy
always
dub.
win.
Like it's gonna be like Luch. Like
It's a
Zoro's
Luffy
gonna beat and
W.
awaken Zoan by himself. Like, and
Off
then
screen too.
probably because Oda fucking sucks. And then the I don't know what's gonna happen to Jay Garcia. I wouldn't be surprised like if he just decides to just like fucking
He might dip.
warp
I think
out.
he's just gonna
You
dip.
know, he might just
I
warp
think he's
out.
gonna. I think he's gonna hit the emu failsafe.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's
I
the
wouldn't be
fall of
surprised to
Admiral
see.
Kizaru.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see. Well, I think that even with Admiral Kizaru gone, like it opens up like this new can of worms. Garp is gone. Kizaru's out of commission. Like, uh, Kiji, the ex admiral took out Garp. Like, I think that there are a lot of pieces that'll play into the hand of like making the Navy kind of take a backseat in the following arc, while also like trying to stack up their points so they can go in on whatever the next conflict that actually happens that they're prepared for.
Yeah.
So the groundwork is being laid out for.
And then I think the other side of it is that the Borusei don't like there's no loss on the Celestial Dragon side. Because I think at some point the Navy has to turn on the Celestial Dragons.
For right now, like I mean,
At the end of the story. At the end of the story. I think that it's not going to be. I don't think we're fighting the Navy. I think we're fighting the Celestial Dragons.
I think we're fighting the Navy. I just think that the Navy power structures are going to fall apart, like to the point where like the people who are upholding like the Navy's ambitions will fall to the wayside. Like Sakazuki will get defeated. Fujitora will probably let
Yeah, but
himself
that's what
get
I'm saying.
defeated. Like
Fujitora, I don't think we see him. I think we fight him sooner than later, because
mm,
I don't think he's gonna end up being on their side.
mm,
And I think the same is going to be true of Kizaru. I think this is where you see Kizaru defect, and
yeah.
I think we see, um, or at least one way to see it happen is that I think Kizaru could defect here, and then Fujitora defects as well, after his second meeting with Luffy. right? Because after his first meeting, he was already sold on who Luffy was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's just like one justification away from being like, I can't do this. I'm on the wrong side.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can see some like Marines like leaving for a more dilemma, but I definitely do see like the apparatus of the Marines like not falling apart until Sakazuki's defeated.
I disagree. I think right before Sakazuki's defeated is when they'll fall apart.
Oh well, yeah, I think that could
Because
also
we
that would
have to
work. That would
remember
work as
Luffy's
well.
army right now is small,
Yeah.
but it's growing.
Hmm.
And that's why they can't defect. They need to be certain that they're going to win before they can change sides. Because
Is my
they're on
camera
the
bugging
opposite
out right
side.
now?
Yeah, it is. I was trying to figure out if it was like focusing
Ridiculous.
on you were going to speak. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I think like you can definitely I can definitely see a way that before the the Navy falls, or before the um like the gods fall, the Navy falls, right?
Hmm.
Like defeat Sakazuki at the same time as um the Gorosei or whatever, like Emu or whatever, but like you still have the other people switching sides ahead of time because now the armies are equal.
Yeah. So then here's the next question. Do you think that the Straw Hat crew is going straight to Elbath?
I think this guarantees it. I'll be
Hmm.
honest. I think this guarantees it.
Yeah, like they need to get an invitation from like from the
I
giant
think
pirates
what
to be
happens
able to
is
go. Yeah.
I think what happens is Egghead gets destroyed.
Hmm.
Everybody makes it out alive.
Yeah.
Um, and they recoup on uh oh, it would be amazing if they recuperate on Elbath and then Big Mom shows up on Elbath.
I think that would be great. Like
Because
I
Shanks is
love to
gone.
see like
Shanks
the
skedaddled.
so yeah, I was thinking I was like, is that even worth the question to ask? Because I'm pretty sure he isn't there. But when it comes to the whole Big Mom story, like regarding like Albath, like I definitely think there needs to be a conclusion with that. I think it would be even cool to have like Kaido even go, like if they just both just ended up there. But like um ultimately ultimately, yeah, I agree with you. Like, and I think that the direction that the story's going in is definitely taking the Straw Cats crew directly to Albath. What I'm interested though is Sphinx Island. Like and like is something going to trigger the Straw Hat crew to like to initiate like an impel down, like or like a grand fleet like impel down like infiltration. Oh, wait, you didn't hear me? I don't know why my volume also. Can you talk again?
Yeah, my
Oh,
headphones
your
died.
headphones died. Oh, okay, that's what happened. That's fine.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Repeat everything you were
Yeah,
saying.
no. So like I was just thinking I'm like, well, like it's possible like with Sphinx Island, that's what I'm interested about because like is something going to happen that's going to initiate the crew to having to go or send like some of the crew or sending the Grand Fleet itself to going and like getting people out of Impel Down for the sake of like allies like in terms of like helping with like the white like what the who's the his name's Newgate, right?
Uh, oh, you're thinking of Weevil.
Yeah, Weevil New yeah. So like helping like Weevil, helping anybody else who's fucking there, like maybe even Bon Clay's still alive. That would be a W for me personally, because I love that motherfucker. And I don't know, like I think across the board, that's the I can see a way out. Like it's clear last week it didn't really make sense as to what the clear way out was, especially if the Blackbeard Pirates had showed up in the way that we could have potentially anticipated they would have. But it shows that there is a clear path like out, and like even still like with the ship like leaving, like it seems like there's going to be like solutions that are present and not like it seems like we're leaving much sooner than we've been here for.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Well, I mean, I'm wondering because we've been doing this whole time, right? Like we've had a need for the Grand Fleet,
Mm-hmm.
and we're building up towards the final war now, and we know it's the final saga, so we know that they're going to get used pretty soon, right? Like it's coming.
Yeah.
Right? Like all of the cover stories are starting to line up. All of the right, like cover stories used to be happening just like what's going on, or like from people in the rest of the world.
Cover stories
Now,
are
cover
literally
stories, if you
becoming
miss
like
cover stories, you missing everything.
Yeah, you're
You're
missing
missing huge,
relevant current plot.
right?
Yeah.
Characters are showing up because of the cover stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like
Which is
Charlotte
crazy.
Linlin
Yeah.
Charlotte Pudding is like there because of the cover stories. Another thing that could be the case is that we get Luffy versus Big Mom at Elbaf, and then Luffy
That
was
would
like,
be like right, like that would be the
that would
only
be
person
perfect.
who would make sense for him to fight like while there.
Yeah.
Realistically speaking,
I
like
agree.
he doesn't
It
have
ties
any
up
enemies
all
with
of
the
Big Mom's
giants.
plot points.
Yeah.
It ties up his challenge to Big Mom because he said he was going to whoop her ass. He called it. Luffy
Yeah.
did. So Luffy's going to have that fight at some point. He wants that fight. He wasn't happy when Kid and Law took it.
Yeah.
Oda could write that he is, but I doubt it. I know for a fact if Luffy gets the chance, he's running hands with her.
Yeah,
so
100%.
I think that it gives Luffy the chance to finish his bet, or to come true on his word. And then I think on top of all of that, it cements Luffy as a Yonko.
Yeah.
Which then
it cements him as the strongest.
After beating her, she might be willing to work with him because we get information about Pudding being with Blackbeard.
Like he might be like she might be the catalyst. Like whatever the Blackbeard crew is doing at that island might be like enough to be a sound off board. And then like the events that happen at Whole Cake Island might just be enough for them to be like, okay, we're going through, like we're gonna save, like what, like you know what could be possible is like the people, the Blackbeard pirates who are at Elbaf, who are at Egghead, could help, could potentially bring Sanji's memory back of like Pudding properly. And I think that could then become a catalyst for having the resolution with the Big Mom pirates, having then like Pudding become like a point of contention and be like, all right, like we're not only are we going to save
I think what happens
is save Pudding. Yeah.
I think what could happen is that after Luffy whoops Big Mom's ass, right? Katakuri comes to get his get back on Blackbeard. I bet you that the Big Mom pirates have recovered
Yeah.
from Wano. They all grouped back up with Katakuri. Katakuri is like, we're running a fade on Blackbeard for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Katakuri is all about keeping his family intact, and they stole pudding. So Luffy is in Elbaf recovering. Blackbeard knows Luffy's in Elbaf and recovering because of this ship. It just gathers intel. Luffy gets to Elbaf, fights Big Mom because she's there and a threat to the island. And gets his chip as a Yonko, right? Happy Black History Month, folks. Now that I did the Black Power Fist, I don't know if we talked about it earlier, but
that's right.
just reminded me.
It's this. I don't know what the fuck hand it is.
It doesn't matter, bro. It's just the fist in the air.
It's the fist, yeah. Yeah.
But
man.
But yeah, like you get Luffy tying up everything with Big Mom. Then you get Big Mom's family involved, so it gives her actually a good reason to continue being in that part of the story.
I need this camera to stop. I'm sorry, like this camera needs to actually stop doing what it's doing.
We'll upgrade the equipment as we go, my friend. As we grow, we will get better equipment, and this will get better. But you get Luffy beating Big Mom, so he's fulfilled his promise. Now Luffy doesn't give a damn anymore, right? Once Luffy's beaten somebody that he said he was going to beat, he doesn't care. He wants to, as soon as he's beaten somebody, he's like, I'll help you, right? Like, and if Big Mom has need at that point, then Luffy can come to work with her, because he's always happy to work with people.
Yeah.
Right? So I imagine what'll happen is that Blackbeard, knowing that Luffy is injured, will go to Elbaf to try and run Luffy's fade. Because he's an opportunist.
After Luffy's taken out Big Mom?
Before he gets there, Luffy takes out Big Mom. When he gets there, Katakuri and the Big Mom pirates had been to he leaves.
Yeah.
Katakuri at the same time he leaves gets to Blackbeard's island, then sets out because he knows that they left. So then they get to Blackbeard gets there first. And Big Mom takes no part. But then we get the Big Mom pirates showing up, and then Big Mom does take a part.
I'd be interested to see anything, honestly, man. Like, I just think that, like, you hit the nail on the head. Like, 'cause I've been thinking about the longest time. People are like, "Oh, there's gonna be a Davy back fight between like Luffy and Shanks' crew." I think that there will be. I think that there will be a Davy back fight. I don't think it's gonna happen there. I think it's gonna happen like maybe at Laugh
I think Buggy would be the other option for the Davy
and Buggy
back
would
fight.
also be another option for a Davy back fight for sure, especially because for the fact that like and I told you about that theory like with the Buggy one, because like I just think that it gives the opportunity for Zoro to have like that one-on-one fight against Mihawk. It gives like Crocodile like a means to be able to get like a rematch against like Luffy, but like and like obviously like, these are characters that we've all grown to like, that we don't want anyone to like be outright defeated. And so
I'll say the reason for my support for the Davy back with Shanks over the Davy back with Buggy, I think the Davy back with Buggy would be dope. But let's be honest, at any point in time that the Straw Hats pull up on Buggy's crew,
they're walking away scratch free because the second strongest is going to be able to match.
But what if it's like a
Mihawk.
3-way fight? What if it's
I
like
don't
a
think
three-way
it'll be a 3-way fight.
between like Shanks, Buggy, and Luffy?
I don't think it'll be a 3-way fight. I think that we get the fight with Shanks is the Davy back fight, because then you get to have the fight, like they get to go balls to the wall, literally trying to kill each other, and then just whichever man stands back, or once it's the Katakuri fight all over again, right? That's exactly how it should be. Is that
These guys
Luffy
gonna fight for a
surpasses
fucking
Shanks.
week straight?
Well, but that's all the
Jesus
best fights in
Christ.
One Piece, right?
Mhm.
Like maybe that's where the fight where Luffy does have his 1 week long fight with, like his first week long fight,
Yeah, that's possible. It's possible.
right? Where they're so
Yeah.
toe to toe that it goes for forever. And then in the time in between, it's a party the whole time.
Mhm.
Right? And then so they, like, while they're fighting, the rest of the crew is having a Davy back, and they're just tuning into the fight that's like ongoing throughout the day.
Yeah,
That
like
would
on
be
some like
so
Dragon
cool.
Ball superhero shit, like where like Goku and Vegeta are fighting one another in the backdrop of the movie.
Yeah,
but there's
because
a
the
whole
rest of
ass,
the
like,
crew
other
doesn't care.
Yeah, like, and everyone else is dealing with another crisis. Yeah.
Right. And then it would give Usopp a way to like meet his dad on a regular kind of like even footing.
I'm just imagining some fucking
If they do
primitive
like a
power.
snipe off or something like that. And then, you could, like, because again, this isn't going to be Zolo's big moment.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be Sanji's big moment. Maybe Sanji ends up fighting someone else, or like maybe they do like an intelligence off, and then
Sanji
like
versus
Sanji and
Rocket
Nami
Lee.
come in clutch over Ben Beckman, who's rumored to be one of the smartest people in the world, right? Maybe there's things like that.
Yeah.
He was confirmed the greatest intelligence in the East Blue when we started the story.
Okay.
And I mean, Shanks was in the East Blue with him, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Maybe it's because he comes out of the East Blue though, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember if he was born in the East Blue. But anyways, my point being is that like Shanks has his fight with Luffy. We get the moments with Usopp. Maybe we get some stuff like crew stuff. The Davy back would be great in that setting, because then the rest of the crew doesn't have to be like fighting. We don't have to get like this insane power off type of thing.
Yeah.
Because we get that from Luffy, and that's all we care about. Because Luffy versus Shanks, everything else on Shanks' crew, nobody matches, like, interestingly. We don't care about anybody on Shanks' crew but Shanks. Let's be honest.
No, it's true. It's true.
I don't care.
Except for Yasop.
If
I feel like
nobody
people
on
care about
Shanks' crew
Yasop
gets
for
a fight,
narrative
and
reasons.
except for Shanks, they're
I feel
all
like
super strong. I'm happy that they're super strong. All I care about is Shanks' fight.
I feel like Shanks and Yasop are the two justifiable pieces from Shanks' like, crew that are like storylines that need to be concluded.
Right, which is why I think the Davy back gives us the ability to have those two.
Oh, and honestly, and an eating contest between Lucky Roo and fucking Luffy.
Absolutely.
Or
but
like
I think that to have an eating contest, it would have to be one of those wacky events where they're not really fighting. And that's why I think that the Davy back would be perfect for them. Whereas literally at any point in time, Buggy can show up and ask for smoke with Luffy, and Luffy will give it.
Yeah.
And Zolo will give it, and Sanji will stop Crocodile, and nobody else will fight Luffy. But because the Straw Hats would be too strong.
No, I wouldn't be surprised by that. Like, I think that would be really, really cool. I don't know. Like I
So
definitely.
then I
I
think it would just be like
definitely see.
Luffy and Sanji restraining Crocodile and Buggy, while Zolo has his 1v1 with Mihawk. I don't see there being like I don't see there being like a need for it to be um
It's not gonna be like the full, like a full crew, a full. Like,
yeah,
I don't think
I don't
any of
see a
these
need
things are
for there
gonna
to
be
be a
full
Davy
crew.
back fight. That could happen
Yeah,
as we get to Laugh Tale, right?
yeah.
That they were
That's where
both
I
that
think it'll more
them
likely
two were the
happen.
last
Yeah,
ones to pursue it, and Luffy holds down Buggy while Zolo fights Mihawk, and then Zolo's not going to kill Mihawk, and Mihawk wouldn't kill Zolo.
Mihawk's probably gonna ask him to fucking cut him down.
He
I wouldn't be
probably will,
surprised.
but maybe he won't. He seems to
Yeah,
have more view of self-preservation than Zolo does.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, no,
Zolo's
Zoro's
more
fucking
like
crazy.
Ryuma in that sense.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I think that Zolo and Mihawk fight, and then they end their fight in an honorable fashion, and like knowing who's won, and then you don't have to worry about Crocodile or Buggy because Luffy's just been holding them back the whole time, and they have nobody else on their crew that's worth a lick of fighting ability. Like Chopper suppressing the rest of their crew.
yeah.
Especially like we still have Jinbei's hands free. Like what are we? Frankie's still there, and he's fighting freaking Gorosei members with ease.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you.
You know, so like I don't think that their crews match up in a way that it's really like a problem. The only real big problem would be if like Boa Hancock had joined their fleet. And I don't think that's what's gonna, or maybe it does happen. Maybe all the warlords show up there. But like again, we still have lower level fighters who are strong enough to match the warlords.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I also think that
like I'm not trying to shit on anybody, but like
no, like the crew has the means to take on who they need to take on, it seems like, with the plot now. Like especially after getting rid of Kaido, which is like a massive, he stopped Shanks from
like
appearing.
Chopper could watch Buggy. Like that's kind of what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's the weakest members on the crew can take care of Buggy.
Yeah.
So like, and then everybody else can match up with whoever, right? If you want to throw as many warlords in there as possible, I think Robin could go toe to toe with Boa. I don't think she'd win, but I think she could go toe to toe. And then you got Jinbei, you got Sanji, you got Luffy to take care of somebody. But like again, why would Robin have to go toe to toe with Boa if Luffy's there? If Luffy's there, Boa's on Luffy's side. Boa's not even taking a second. She's flipping.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So like then we even get an extra fighter. And we might have Yamato on the crew by then.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I don't know. Like, it's interesting to see where the plot's gonna go. I wanted to see though if you wanted to talk about the you want to save the anime stuff to talk about next week when we're on break?
I'm not against it.
I'm getting tired.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. It's obviously in the middle of the day for me, but I'm still fucking tired. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. All right. Then guys, we'll be talking about next week. We'll be talking about the anime and the manga, and then potentially doing our top 30 as well. So that one will probably be a bit of a longer stream.
Yeah. I'll make sure to have all the energy for that. I can't do caffeine because that shit makes me fall asleep. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I think like my last thoughts with this whole piece and chapter and whatnot is like, I'm actually not upset with the chapter. I am more upset with like the naming of like Sun God Nika But I think for me, like, just, and I told you this on the phone when we first talked, like, I was watching Braga DA's stream, and his first guttural response was, fuck, no, why? And I felt that because it just felt like up until this week, the story was going anywhere. And I feel like the path has been set forth now. And that's how I feel about that's how I feel about this week's chapter.
I can
Like,
understand that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I feel like the path can still pretty much go anywhere, but that this is in theme with everything that we've seen in the story up until now.
Yeah, no, it's and I think that this goes back to reiterating that, like, one piece, like, that I was talking about before, like, in the week, where it just, I think a lot of the players and a lot of the pieces of the puzzle were introduced prior to Jaya, or from Jaya and beforehand. And I think that, like, with this Dory and Bragi, like, situation, it just reinforces the fact that, like, a lot of Oda's key players have been in this story for a very long time.
Yeah, but they also required quite a bit of that time to grow.
What do you mean, Dory and Bragi?
No, well, not Dory and Bragi, but like Buggy, like all these people, like Garp is growing as like a person, going through all that stuff, right? And then like we're seeing how he's changing his actions based on his experiences. Like the people that we've had the longest times with,
Yeah. Well, no, I
or who have been a part of the story for the longest time.
I don't really consider Garp a part of that, but yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean, Garp's introduced in like the late chapters, but if you read like the Wanted and Romance Dawn stuff, like Garp's,
Yeah, no, and he's been teased. He's
Yeah.
he's teased.
and you
earlier
get
on,
to
for
see him
sure.
initially in like the Kobe Meppo
Yeah,
cover story.
cover art, yeah.
So you're like he's introduced by like
He's been there, yeah.
I don't know 200s or something like that.
It's just like, yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's just my take. That's just my take.
But yeah, no, I totally see it. But yeah, it was great having you guys with us, and I hope that you keep coming out. Thank you for watching the stream that we dropped the other day. I didn't even know that we had gotten 11 views when we had started this, so I'm really thankful and happy for that. So, keep watching. Hope you guys keep having fun. Have a great day, guys.
Peace.
Out.